Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to the Papa Shrow Nose podcast. We are here ready to preview the AFC Championship game. Got a couple of guests for this show, Ray and Randy joining me as we kick it back to some old school Showbanks days. It was very fun getting them on the podcast. That will be just a little bit later on. First, just going to jump right into a few things. Of course, the game coming up, huge game. We give our predictions later in the podcast, as well as, how about Jim Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh officially announced will be the head coach going forward in LA for the Chargers. It's a 5-year deal. That huge news for the AFC West. And just to see the structure of the division, of course, Antonio Pierce also has been announced that he will be the full-time head coach in Vegas, which is another, big-time deal. I think the Raiders, if they were going to fumble that again the way they did last time with Bisaccia, I definitely thought he should have been their head coach. They went with Josh McDaniel instead, and that, was what it was, right? Not a good hire there by the Raiders. And hopefully for both of those franchises, they can kind of get to going, which, the Chargers are in a rough spot, coming off of a 5-12 season, I believe. That terrible loss, of course, that they took to the Raiders, 63-21 the last couple of years, has just been pretty rough. And they are $27.5 million over the salary cap. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason to kind of upgrade the team and see what happens. But, obviously offseason stuff we'll talk about a little bit more, which later on in the year, essentially. So 44-19-1 was his overall record, Harbaugh, in San Francisco when he was head coach there from 2011 to 2014. And we got bigger fish to fry right now. We talked about the Bills game, obviously, immediately following that, kind of wrapped that up, and the Chiefs are on a roll. This offense is, definitely surprising, to say the least. It was a surprising game for the Chiefs, I think, in some senses. Of course, MVS having the big game, and, it was a terrific game. Terrific just all around, just from the entertainment value of the game to what the Chiefs did, going through some of the film, watching it too, and what they put on tape. It was a good all-around win. So nonetheless, other than that, I didn't have too much to really say other than, the Harbaugh news, as well as, Antonio Pierce. Like I said, we'll get more into the offseason a little bit later on, but at this point, I'm going to go ahead and kick it to the segment with Randy and Ray joining the podcast, and hope you guys enjoy this. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, I would like to introduce two of my closest friends as well as co-host on the Showbanks show. You already know who it is. We got Rated R Randy.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's a pleasure to be on the show, my man.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I've been wanting both of y'all to come on at some point, and I felt like this week was the perfect week because we have, of course, our residential Ravens fan of the week, Ray, as well, joining us.
Yeah.
Nah, shut the
Hey, I almost messed it up because I was about to say, what the hell going on, dummy?
But man, I just wanted to bring y'all on because this is like I said, this is the perfect week to bring you guys on and talk about this game. We got Randy, of course, diehard Chiefs fan, just like myself. Ray, who's kind of on the bubble at this point, but obviously the Lamar Jackson supporter and Ravens fan this week. So what are you guys thinking? Let's go to Ray first.
Be clear.
Oh, go ahead.
I want the record to show that I am a Lamar Jackson fan as well, and I appreciate the man's talent. He's a black quarterback. I always go root for black quarterbacks. In this instant, my Chiefs Kingdom fandom overtakes all of that right now. So that's all I gotta say.
Put it out.
All right, we doing this on his platform, bro. This ain't the Showbanks show, dog.
I can't help it, bro.
Hey man, we got them Showbanks vibes today. It's all good. Like,
all right, fair enough.
I'm excited for that. But no, I feel you because Lamar Jackson, especially this year, like he's had such a great year, and just watching what he did last week, was very impressive, and them to kind of flip the switch in the second half and the way they were able to perform and put up some numbers on the Houston Texans.
Had to go out there and smoke their boots one time for the one time. What is it? That matchup really showed that there's levels to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at first half was all all defensive battle, stagnant, and then we got to see what an evolved Lamar Jackson looks like, and that's with real killer instinct. He went out there and he really put the offense on his back and made it happen, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, he did.
To be honest, I think we're going to see a repeat of last week and this week's matchup.
This nigga's out his mind.
Okay. Okay.
So let me ask both
Go
of you
ahead,
guys
keep going,
this. Well, let me just ask this real quick, just because I'm curious, kind of the way this is going. You say repeat performances. So you guys think this will be more of an offensive game or a defensive game, or somewhere kind of in the mix?
I'm leaning more towards defense with the Ravens pulling it away late. That's how I kind of see this script going. Because
Yeah, I think
honestly, go ahead, Randy.
No, I was just saying I think it's gonna be kind of a mix. I think to start the game off and probably lead into the fourth quarter, it'll probably be a back and forth thing, really offensive heavy. But I think defense will take the reign and eventually give the Chiefs the advantage on the game. But we'll get to all that.
Yeah, I would say I feel like both teams are going to come with a really similar game plan on like 2 victory. Pretty much just run the ball as much as possible, drain the clock, keep the ball away from the other person because we're talking about two offensive wizards, right?
You think the Chiefs are going to run the ball?
Honestly, I think that's their best bet.
Oh, yeah. We've been saying that as Chiefs fans. We've been saying that all year long. That's their best bet. And what does Andy Reid the past say? I don't feel like it.
Yeah, but I feel like this is going to be a wee bit different because Baltimore is really trying to operate like in a no-fly zone. And I like Rashee Rice, love Travis Kelce. I don't see them really pushing the needle as much as they need to have like actual aerial success.
The problem with that though for Baltimore is Marlon Humphrey going to play?
I mean, I think he's only played in about 6 to 8 games this season, and they've still had like a no-fly zone since. Kyle Hamilton is playing lights out. Oh God, I wish I could remember the other corner's name right now. But like I think on all 3 levels, the Ravens defense they're playing out of their minds right now. And I think they got the momentum. And just to like piggyback off of last week, I think that momentum is really going to carry them into this matchup onwards.
I just don't know.
This
They're
is
not
playing
playing CJ
disagree.
Stroud this week.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
They're not playing CJ Stroud this week.
Oh no. I'm not downplaying like Pat and saying like, oh, like yeah, like they're playing some rookie or whatnot. But I just want to know if last week was kind of like a flash in the pan or not, because y'all got a heroic performance out of MVS, and I don't know if that's replicable. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's fair.
I'm just saying. And so like if Rashee Rice is him and Travis Kelce are the only true receiving options out there, that really does limit what Pat can do in the air.
But this is where I counter your argument, because if you're saying it's going to be a no-fly zone as far as the defense is concerned, really, to be honest, throughout the duration of the season, we only hit Rashee Rice on short hits. So it's not really anything that as long as he gets in his spots, it's not really anything that the defense can necessarily do about it. With Travis Kelce, the Ravens are operating a zone-heavy defense, and he has probably the most success out of the tight ends operating in a zone. We've all heard that, Travis Kelce doesn't necessarily go by a play. He kind of does it based on instincts. And that shines especially in zone coverage. So I think that's where we have the advantage against that special Ravens defense. Or the Chiefs have that advantage. I'm not trying to sound too biased, even though y'all know I'm biased.
Biased as hell, but understandable.
You just said they had the momentum and they just played. They came off a bye week and played a rookie. That's bias, bro.
Bias, or is that just not factual?
To me, I don't think that's factual. I think the hardest game that was played that weekend, or out of the AFC, I think the hardest game that was played was the Chiefs against going on the road against the Bills. I don't think that Lamar Jackson at home against the rookie was that too complex of a game. And that's hindsight. Hindsight is 2020 because I initially going into that game thought that CJ Stroud was going to do some things. So that
I would say
hindsight is most definitely 2020.
for sure. Because like that's the thing. Because I feel like a lot of people were kind of discounting the Ravens in that matchup. D'Amico Ryans, what he's been doing down there in Houston, how he's been coaching up that defense. They were playing well above their heads. And I kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous about that matchup just for the simple fact of we don't have much tape on CJ Stroud. So
Yeah, I
there was
agree with
no,
you.
yeah, like that, like, you know what I mean? Like he was really like a wild card. We
Hmm.
have a lot of film on Pat, which I'm not saying, oh, that makes him easy to, stop or whatever, but it gives them a better chance than, just somebody who's unpredictable, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. With
I
with
don't
what
agree at all.
happened, I'm just saying, like, I think it's somewhere in the middle because it's obviously that's what happened. It's factual, but at the same time, I think, and you're right, Randy. It's hindsight's 2020 because I also thought it was going to be a closer matchup going in, more like what the first half was through the whole game. But um, them being able to shut down CJ Stroud, I just don't take a whole lot of merit into that of being as big of a deal just because with the Chiefs, what they did, going into Buffalo and being able to I mean they had their moments on defense. The rushing defense was not great, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they are much more well prepared to face Baltimore than Baltimore is to face Kansas City. And I just say that just because of the two matchups with Josh Allen, because they get a lot of kind of the same looks, a lot of run, plays from the quarterback, and obviously there's a big speed difference. They're playing a different way, running the ball a different way. But I think the Chiefs have like the perfect blueprint to be able to take down the Ravens offense and their defense actually being able to shine a little bit more than the Ravens defense may against the Kansas City Chiefs because with them not playing this year at all, they have nothing against the Chiefs. They haven't seen anything against that offense and at this point right now like I mean, it's Andy Reid season.
This is
Mm-hmm.
where me and Levi's, or excuse me and Stroh's Chiefs fandom differs because he's like full go hung Chiefs fan, and I'm like I turn into a troll, and this is where I turn into a troll. Today I learned that we have another quarterback on the depth chart. Now, why is that significant? Why is that important? Well, for me, as far as the quarterbacks go for the Chiefs, I only need to know two people. I need to know 1-5, and I need to know the dudes that's going to back up 1-5 if he breaks his knee or he twists his ankle or something like that. And that's Blaine Gabbert. Today, I learned we have another quarterback on the depth chart named Chris Oladipo. Why do I know that? Why do I know that? Because Spagnola out his mouth said that we're using Chris Oladipo in practice so the defense can get a Lamar Jackson feel. Why is that important? Now, if you're trying to replicate Lamar Jackson, obviously you're talking about elusivity and speed, explosiveness. I googled this nigga's 40-yard dash, and excuse my language, it was a 4.71. What are you replicating with that, nigga? I'm sorry, my bad. What are you replicating with that, bro?
Not Lamar Jackson.
They replicated Kirk Cousins. Like that's the only thing that kind of gets me. And Spags is doing his thing. I have the ultimate and utmost confidence in Spags. I think that when the second half comes around, I think he's gonna be dominant. I think that Lamar is gonna have a tough game. But just hearing certain things like that, I can't continue to just wave my Chiefs flag at that. It's just certain things that I hear that I just can't go along with. That was just funny to me.
That's fair. I actually hadn't heard that they were trying to replicate Lamar with Oladokin. That's yeah, 4.7. That's rough. trying to replicate Lamar. I think that's where Willie Gay, if he's going to play or not, is going to come in huge, and him to spy on Lamar. I think there's a few different guys that could get it done in their own way, but Willie just has the speed, that side to side speed where he's going to be able to, maybe contain Lamar a little bit. Because I think that's the key is keeping Lamar inside the pocket and, inside the numbers essentially just to he can run up the middle, but I don't think he does as much or as well when he gets pressured from the outside. So if they can just keep him in there, I think the Chiefs will have a good opportunity to, be able to hold and contain him rushing wise.
Okay. I think I get what y'all saying. To an extent, I get what you're saying. What Willie Gay's position should be to, because like I'm gonna be real. There's no realistic way of containing Lamar. Maybe you can mitigate it. I expect about a 50 to 60 yard performance with about 1 to 2 on the ground for Lamar, and I'm only saying that based off what was that? Not last year, my bad. It's 2024. So 2 years ago, last time they played, right? Because what week was that they played the Chiefs? Do you remember, Shro?
3 or 4.
It was week 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, it was early in the season. That was the
And
game where it was a Monday night at Baltimore.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay.
mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, like all the analytics and X's and O's, that stuff is cool. But I kind of felt like this specific game is a bit more storyline driven, and I how can I put it? What is it? I'm exactly trying to say. I feel as if that we know that the Chiefs are mortal and they can be had, and I feel like this is the perfect storm, just due to with the addition of what's my man's name, Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator. I think he's going to get Lamar in perfect position and give him mismatches that'll set him up for uh, success.
The only thing with any of that, the last time that they played, this defense was
Mm-hmm.
insanely different. Tyrann Mathieu and Dan Sorensen were the safeties on that team.
Hey man, don't disrespect Tyron Matthew like that. Dan Sorensen gets all the slander though.
Tyrann Mathieu was his worst year as a Chief that year. And that was, part of the start of it. I mean, I'm just saying, he
Hey
had
bro,
his worst year as a Chief that season.
y'all mean bro.
I'm just
Chief
saying,
Kingdom,
man.
Chief Kingdom has high standards, man. You're
Yeah.
a dynastic organization these days.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, man, I can't co-sign none of this shit.
We're not a dynastic organization these days
All
with
right,
six
bro.
straight AFC
All
Championship appearances
right, bro.
and 2 wins in 4 years. Am I off?
No, you're not off.
Uh,
Ray has a skewed view.
because, bro, it's like it. I be understanding what like rich folks be talking about with like new money, and like that's what this sound like. It sound like new money,
You act like
which
over
I ain't.
half of a decade of AFC Championship games straight is nothing to sneeze at. I don't understand.
I'm not thumbing my nose, but boy,
Three
like
Super Bowls, two Super Bowl
y'all noses is
victories,
sky high right now.
and not to mention about
That's
the
all.
Chiefs looking mortal. Let's go back to that comment. The Chiefs looking mortal. The Chiefs don't look mortal in the playoffs, right? 13-1 against
Fam, y'all could have been
it,
had against the Bills. Let's not act like that was a perfect game. Cut
We're
the
on the
shit.
road. We supposed to be had. I mean,
yeah.
that's the point of being on the
That's
road. You're more susceptible to losing.
And not to mention Josh Allen, if somebody just falls on the ball, where a Josh Allen fumble and Nicole Hardman not reaching out from probably winning by 2-3 scores. So what are we talking about?
I mean, if if a if was a fifth, we all be drunk, right?
Here you go.
Nah,
And you talking about some ifs, right? It looked like the Chiefs could have
I
been
said
had. It looked
I
like, right?
said I would say because like wait, if Stephon Diggs, right? Because like we talking about ifs,
If,
right?
If
if,
If right,
if Tyler Bass makes a field goal, we're going to overtime. And Mahomes is going to rip the hearts out of every single Buffalo Bills
hey,
fan in
but
that crowd.
all right, bro.
in overtime
See,
again.
see.
So, not to get off the rails too much, what do you guys think about the Buffalo curse? Have you guys been seeing that going around? How
Yeah, that's the
every team
storyline I was
loses?
actually about to bring up. I was just like,
Mm.
ooh. Between that and then when y'all brought up that Reapers, like, Pat the Reaper, it's like y'all
Oh,
play
please, let's
yourselves
not.
every
Oh
time.
no,
Every
please
time y'all
no.
do it.
I
What was
I
it?
think really the
13
helmet thing
seconds.
sparked that. Did you guys see the picture of how like the helmet looked like when it
Yeah, I
chipped?
seen that. I
Yeah,
I
seen that.
mean,
and
yeah, I don't know.
We gotta
I
and
let
I
feel
that
was
go.
like I feel like I don't pay attention to the part of Chiefs Kingdom that just tries to keep on bringing up Run It Back or the Reaper,
Yeah,
old
we
news.
gotta let that go.
Yeah, no facts.
because like yeah, like bro, because like Pat's great, right? I just that nickname just does not fit, bro.
It fit for a moment in time.
Yeah, yeah, it fit
Literally,
that situation for
literally,
sure.
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
one situation. But yeah, when
Because
you're talking
even at
about
the
nah,
same
man,
time, it's not like I don't know. It's just something that Andy said to him on the sideline, and everybody just ran with it.
yeah, yeah.
Andy didn't say
But
that. First of all, there's no way he just came up with that off the cuff.
hey,
Like he was
without
like,
stumbling
"No, I'm
over
gonna
that
kill
a
him with this
couple
in the
times.
press conference, dog. Let me go. Hold up. What was that question
Yeah.
again? Yeah, when things get grim, I told him be the Grim Reaper.
You don't think Andy
It's
told him
like,
that
come
on the
on, dog.
sideline?
Huh?
You don't think Andy told him
Trust,
that on the sideline?
Hell
trust
no.
me. You don't believe that. I know you
Hell
don't.
no.
I could see him saying it like with a smile, like being a fucking goofball.
All
Andy
right,
said
so
some go out there and be great. Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's get him. Pat knew he ain't say that shit on the sideline, man.
yeah. Like it was like I said, it was good for the moment, good press, all that good stuff. But
Hmm.
come on, dog.
So y'all gotta hit me to the Bills curse. I'm not too short. I don't have too much
Oh yeah,
info on that.
every team that beats the Bills in the playoffs, or specifically Josh Allen in the playoffs, goes on to lose their next game.
So the first one was the Texans, and then they came to Arrowhead the next week. Then it was the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, lost to Tampa Bay. The Chiefs again the next year, and then the loss to the Bengals, and then the Bengals last year, and they lost to the Chiefs, and now the Chiefs have beat the Bills going into Baltimore.
That's rough.
I don't like the optics of that. I'm not gonna lie. I've
I
been every
don't
time
like
that
it
popped
either.
up. Yeah,
So the Bills
Listen,
have cooties.
in
Bills
so
have
many
cooties.
words,
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but makes sense.
1000%. Yeah,
So
that's
we got any
interesting.
predictions? What do you guys thinking prediction wise? What about the over under? It's at 44 and a half still?
man. I'm hammering that under, bro.
That's a fact. I can't even
Yeah,
believe
same.
that everybody is, from what I've seen, is the over. And also from what I've seen online, not a lot of respect to the Chiefs defense, which I also thought was just fascinating.
I'm not mad at that just because if you're basing it off of what you seen last week and how Buffalo ran on this, I'm not mad at that. But I think too much of a big deal is being made out of that simply because Chiefs rushing attack ran for only 40 less yards in 15 less attempts. So, I don't think we were too badly outdone.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Plus, it's something I ain't seen Stroh said, and I feel like he's scared to say it.
What's up?
Gus the Bus about to tear something up, dog.
We'll see.
Uh
I
don't
could
say
I could
we'll see. You
see,
like,
look, I could see
nah.
40, 50
Any other
yards.
time, boy, you suck. Any other time, you like, man, he just comes out, he kills us every time. Oh,
No,
whoa.
he
Now he
does.
might
I'm
throw
not
this
going to
week.
deny that. I'm not going to deny that he comes out and he is always on against the Chiefs. I feel like every game, it
So
seems
yeah,
like
you
we
want to
cannot
put some
stop
low ball in
Gus.
him?
I feel like
You want
40,
to hit him?
50 yards and low balling him. That's pretty good. I mean, I guess I don't know how many handoffs he get last week.
If I'm not mistaken, it was in the middle to higher double digits, about anywhere from about 15 to 18.
Okay,
I
I guess
gotta
he's
look
getting
into
more
it.
carries than what he had been before.
Yeah, I mean, because what they basically Well, I mean, they got fresh legs with what's my man's name? Dalvin Cook.
Man, that nigga ain't got
Yeah.
no fresh legs.
He got fresh legs, bro. He I swear
Dalvin
to God,
is cooked.
bro, that man has had like 60 carries, or it's not even 60 carries, like 60 touches all season.
Man, he should be
That's
running a
fresh
lot
legs.
better than he is, brother.
Okay, Gus
Ah,
had 10 carries for 40 yards. Justice
oh
Hill
no shit.
13 for 66 last week, and
Oh, they still trying out Justice.
Dalvin Cook had 2.9 yards per carry, 8 for 23.
My bad, y'all. You know.
No, you got something on your mind, Randy? Speak up, bro.
No, man. I mean, I already said it.
No,
I
no, no,
might have
no, no,
already
no,
said
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Let's shut
All
up.
right, so let me hear y'all's final predictions for this AFC Championship game. Who is going on to Vegas?
2017 Ravens.
Run that back one more time, right?
2017 Ravens going to the Super Bowl.
That's interesting. I don't have necessarily an exact score. All I can say is I believe Chiefs will be punching another ticket to the Super Bowl to uh repeat as champions, but we'll get there on another day.
I'm with that. I'm with that. What do you think? 3-7? What are the Chiefs
What?
winning by? You ain't got a score, but they winning by one score.
No, two scores.
Um, I think it'll be 7-10, like a
I'm with
seven to
that.
ten range.
I think it'll probably be in the 3-7 personally, but I think it's going to be low scoring. I think maybe like a 17-14, 17-13. I don't know. Maybe I'm sliding the offenses a little bit, but you know me.
Yeah, I think
But
Lamar is going to get a little bit stagnant. I think the way I think is going to shake out is Chiefs are going to kind of get a fast start, and Lamar is going to press and make a few mistakes. And I just think the Chiefs are going to have the lead, and I don't think it's going to be much of a back and forth, honestly.
I think they're gonna run away with it. Well, we shall see.
Just a
Well,
command and lead. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but just a command and lead throughout.
okay.
What was your prediction again, bro? Say that one more time.
Maybe like 17-14, 17-13, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's I'm saying we all gonna be hard mans because this is about to be a thriller.
That's a fact.
Like
No, last
every
week had me rough.
I'm saying every point, every yard earned, nothing is given in this matchup.
No, I definitely agree, especially with the way the Ravens attacked the run game of the Texans. The Texans could not do anything running the ball.
I've been saying, outside of like Pacheco and Clyde, what else is like, what's the depth chart looking like for the Chiefs, by the way?
Running back wise,
Yes.
uh, beats me.
Yikes.
Yeah, because I don't think that they have. Um, damn, why can't I think of his name right now?
McKinnon?
No, McKinnon's hurt.
He on IR.
What's the other one that killed it in preseason? P Ryan.
Oh, P. Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's on the active roster though. I would like to
I'm
see
gonna
the
say,
Chiefs utilize Richie James more though. I feel like I've been wanting that all season. I just don't understand why they don't add him in more.
You want that more now in the postseason? You think they'll implement that more around
At
this
this
time?
point, no. I don't think that they'll really implement more of him in the
yeah.
postseason just because I mean it's not. I don't know. I just don't think traditionally it's not what they do. Is they build, and I don't think Richie's really been building too much. He's spotty. They put him in here and there, but I mean, I feel like he catches the ball when he's called upon for the most part. I mean, other than that, receiving wise, you got MVS and past what we were talking about earlier with Kelsey and Rice. I mean, you don't really have much.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's another week that we need MVS or somebody else to step up. Maybe,
Yeah,
Justin Watson to come back and catch the occasional, key pass or whatever. But we just need
yeah,
somebody else outside of Rice and Travis Kelsey to step up. I will say, even last week, as horrible as offense played for the Texans, CJ Stroud and Dalton Schultz was able to exploit the defense in certain cases. And I think that will be built upon by Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelsey this week. I don't think I think there's going to be a chess match between Spags and the Ravens, but I don't see it being that much of a struggle for KC's offense to score and get things going. I think our biggest issue, as it's been the last several games, is translating field goals into touchdowns. But I think we'll be moving up and down the field fairly easy. I don't think any more difficult than it's been last game. Like I mean, obviously it'll be a bit more difficult because of the personnel and the Bills personnel, defense personnel weren't as healthy. But I think we'll be moving the ball fairly easy, all things considered, considering how special that Ravens defense is. But it's just something to watch. I think I've seen certain things from C.J. Stroud and Dalton Schultz that kind of gives me confidence in our offense.
No, I agree with you, and I think at the end of the day, like staying on schedule is kind of the same thing I was kind of saying for the Bills game too. As long as the offense stays on schedule and they don't have those, second and 8 or 9 that they want to throw a deep ball on that doesn't connect or something like that. I feel like that's what's killed the Chiefs offense more times than not. It's killed so many drives this season and obviously, penalties and things like that, but more controllable things of like either go back to the run or, try maybe a short pass to kind of get you
Mm-hmm.
closer on third down rather than, let's just air it out 20 yards down the field on a second and medium or long and get us into a third and long. I just think that that's, bad news for the Chiefs and will kill drives. As long as they're staying on schedule, I agree with you. I think they'll move the ball down the field and be able to work. And then just to the chess match on the other side between Munkin and Spags, I think will be really fun to see because, like I said, as long as you can keep Lamar kind of in the pocket and in that area of him trying because he likes to roll out. And if he doesn't really have the option to roll out, it makes it a lot more difficult. If you can stretch the field with, have as long as Willie Gay plays, kind of spy out towards the sideline when Lamar wants to try to get out. I think that they'll have a lot of success on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay. If that's the case, so Sho hit me with basically three keys to victory for the Chiefs.
Three keys to victory. Well, just like I said, stay on schedule on offense. Keeping Lamar contained to the pocket as well. And I
Gotcha.
think get a turnover. Or more so, don't turn the ball over. But I think kind of just going out on a third, key to the game of kind of something a little, I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of, but riskier, is get a turnover. They steal a possession from the Ravens, and I think that'll kind of go straight to kind of the game script Randy was talking about of, the Chiefs get ahead and never look back. A turnover would do absolutely that, I think.
Okay. Okay.
What about you, Ray?
Uh,
For the Ravens, of course.
for the Ravens, obviously, uh, run the ball first and often.
Run the ball, and run the ball.
For real. And if you think about doing something else, run the ball.
Run the ball.
Uh, and okay, because like I kind of feel like this is the sentiment from most Chiefs fans and pundits is everyone saying keep Lamar in the pocket and basically force him to beat you with his arm, right? And if that's the case, I would say probably the I guess weaker part of the Chiefs defense will probably be across the middle. So try to, if that's the case, I would put that on Monken to try to get Zay Flowers just out there in space. Not not putting him like in hospital ball range, but just kind of get him out there in space, kind of hit the seams,
You're
not
talking
on the
about
hood
like
so much.
a 5 to 10 yard range or
Yes,
15
yes,
ish.
like the
Yeah.
little curls, slants, things of that nature, where he can kind of gather some yak, right?
Now you say slants, and slants is something on film I've seen all year that's kind of killed the Chiefs. That is one route that I feel like they have had problems with.
I say, look, man, I'm trying to show some respect to the defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just without implicit bias. And I guess to piggyback off your last one is once again force a turnover, and uh, I I don't think that'll come from the air. I think Pat's going to be really careful because I think he's going to show the proper respect to that to that secondary. I believe a rusher is more than likely going to cough up the ball. Them or uh, honestly, I could kind of see Kelsey kind of pooping the bed a bit. But
Man,
yeah,
going to your force the turnover. If I don't even care if it's a fake or just a decoy. I don't want to see McCole Hardman go in motion one time in this entire game.
at all.
Like, if 12's on the field, I do not want to see him moving pre-snap. Like, just stay where you're at and do whatever you're gonna do on whatever side of the field. Do not
Dang,
go in motion. Oh my gosh.
no love, no love.
Well, he ain't show the ball no love. That's the problem. He need to caress that ball. Love the
Hey,
ball.
hey yo,
Hey, yo, whoa,
that sounds crazy.
that brother is diabolical.
He said caress the ball. That is
Hey, bro.
insane.
Hold on tight.
Yo, he's doubling down.
Levi just a sicko, just a real sicko when you get to know him.
Hey, man. I just want to see
Man,
that
that's
ball go
creep
back
boy.
outside of the end zone. All right. So actually, I'm gonna go back to that about the ball out of the end zone. But Randy, what's your three keys to the game for the Chiefs?
I mean, don't turn over the ball. Get to the goal line, give it to Pacheco. Obviously, I think paired with that is also just rush the ball often. Give Pacheco enough carries, that he can handle. And I don't know, what's that, two?
Yeah,
I would say just finding an X factor out in offense aside from Kelsey and Rice. I think those are the biggest
yeah.
things. And obviously Pacheco as well.
I think that's good. So to go back to kind of what I was saying a minute ago, what do you guys think about the fumble rule? Because we had the best of both worlds in this game. I thought it was interesting. Of on the very first play from scrimmage, you had a Bills player knock the ball out of bounds after a fumble. But then on the flip side, you had McCole Hardman fumbling on the goal line and fumbling the ball out of the back of the end zone, turns around and is a touchback. So for me, I hate the like double-sided rules, right? Because at the goal line, it hurts the offense, but anywhere else on the field, it doesn't. And I'm not against I saw a lot of people that were really, pissed about the rule. I'm not against that just because at the end of the day, I think if you're gonna fumble around the goal line and let it go, I mean, the defense deserves to, maybe not as, punitive, maybe get the ball back at the 20, first and goal from the 20 or, whatever goal, down you're on. But
Yeah.
to be able to knock the ball out of bounds so the defense can't get to it because the Chiefs have a turnover on the very first play of the game if the Bills player doesn't knock that ball out of bounds.
I mean, yeah, look, without sounding too biased, I think when you fumble the ball out of the goal line, I just think the ball should be placed where you originally placed at, placed where you originally lined up at. So if you were on a 10 and you got to the goal line and fumbled out, it should go back to the 10. Is basically what I believe.
Gotcha. Or like if you're at the one and fumble it out, it just goes back to the one, lose the
Yeah,
down.
just go back to where you were at.
I
What
would
about
say,
you,
I
Ray?
mean,
What do you think?
I'm in agreement. Just I hope they kind of don't do that, like kind of like how Josh Allen like pissed and moaned about the whole why can't we get the ball back type situation, and they
Hmm.
kind of make a reactionary rule change, like just keep it consistent. That's all.
Hey, man, at the end of the day with officiating, the only thing that's consistent is the inconsistency.
Mm,
That's a
mm.
fact.
Man, that's the only thing that kills me because really, with the officials all year, it's like just call it consistently. Whatever you're gonna call it consistently.
Wish I had a Don DeMarco to give, cause
Well, guys, I think we pretty much covered it all.
No, for sure. For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Everybody feel
sir.
good? All right, good, good. Well, I really appreciate both of y'all for coming on the show. Like I said, I've been wanting to have you guys on, and just appreciate what we did with the Showbank show, and really kind of propelled me into this anyway. So just
That's awesome.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, thank y'all for coming on.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro. Like, man, it's
Anytime.
it's dope seeing the Chiefs fandom just come to life, and you just doing something that you love to do, bro. So I hope the platform is able to grow tenfold.
Absolutely, thank you, sir.
Man, nah, man. What is it? For real? It was my pleasure. Coming on. Brother been wanting to pod for a minute, so appreciate you for giving your boy a platform.
No, definitely, this was nice to all get together. Cause man, sometimes I'll be scratching my head doing this shit by myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode just as much as I enjoyed recording it with Ray and Randy again. Kind of throwback vibes to the Showbank show where it all started. I definitely would not be here without that experience on the Showbank show and us just having a good time recording that podcast. Go over and check that out. I'm going to link that in the description as well because the catalog there is crazy. Go dive into that and check out. I think we did something like 78 episodes at this point. So check that out. I'm going to link below for give Ray and Randy both a follow over there on Twitter as well. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens over the weekend on Sunday in Baltimore. It is the early game, as we discussed on the last podcast. It'll be the early game. The AFC Championship game goes first. That is at 2 p.m. Central Time. That kickoff will be for the Ravens and Chiefs, and we'll have to see how it all turns out. Either way, we will be back here next week to break it down and discuss what happens. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling, who's winning, what's your score prediction. Is Lamar gonna go crazy? Is Patrick gonna go crazy? Who's gonna be the MVP of the AFC Championship game? Who's the X Factor? What is the X Factor? Give me your 3 keys to victory like we gave you in this episode. All that good stuff. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe as well. Wherever you're listening, hit that subscribe, follow, wherever, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or on YouTube as well. We will be back with more. And until then, as always, go Chiefs!